Hi everyone, welcome to the Excitech BIM 360 surgery. It's Friday and today is number 7 indeed. So thank you all very much for joining us on this live stream. Also, big thank you to everyone that joined the live BIM 360 surgeries that we held at Autodesk University this week. Thank you very much for all that attended and all the great feedback and questions that you had. So today is number 7, as I said, and today we're going to look at the latest updates to model coordination yet again, because there's been that many in recent weeks. I think surgery number 5 was a model coordination update, and again this week on the 19th, Autodesk released some more updates into the coordination space. So today we're going to look at what they've done, and there's two main new things. One is property-based grouping, and the other is format-specific groups. So obviously the main thing today is looking at clash checking, and in particular, if you see I have set up a model coordination folder under the published section, and I've entitled it IFC. The reason for IFC is that we can now include IFCs as part of the clash checking. You can also include DWG files, and as per the latest update release, you can also include MagicCAD files. Now, I don't have any MagicCAD files, but I will endeavour to try and source some in the next couple of weeks and then hopefully show some new stuff there. So you will see I've got an IFC file and I've got two Revit structure files. So I'm going to click into my menu and I'm going to jump straight into the model coordination area. So we click it, and as per usual, it takes us into the coordination space. So let this project load, and then we'll jump into the clash arena. You will see that, I'm not sure everyone is aware, but on the top right we have a little drop down, and actually you can switch between your coordination spaces. And just to confirm that I am in the one that includes the IFC file. So I'm going to click my model coordination space and then jump straight into the clash area. So this is all pretty much familiar, and we're all pretty used to the matrix where it clashes between the objects. I'm going to jump straight into this architecture file, which is the IFC one, and jump straight into the clash environment. So the major update is property-based grouping, and this is actually a new brilliant add-on. It's going to speed up the ability to coordinate and clash based upon groups, and you will see the new area is up on the top of the clash menu bar. You can minimize it down. You can obviously still see all your clash area, but then under the group section you can actually start to clash. So the first two things we can do is we can clash basically the different models. You can see the drop down, it will read the different files that we're clashing, and then the new thing is this object based clashes. So you can select the drop down, and you'll see because we can now filter it, we can actually go based upon the IFC system, type name, or the object. If I was to switch this to the Revit file, you can get different objects that you can clash against. So if I come back out of this, I click into a clash with the Revit project, let that clash environment load. You can see that the object types are changing. You see the way we do not get the IFC file, because this is a Revit file, we get the system name. If I click the system name, you will now see it actually clashes by system. If I come back out and change the type, you can now see it's doing that. So if I switch this back, and let's first of all look at the IFC clash grouping. And sort of it's grouping it all in clashes, but also embedding in the format specific. So depending on the format of your clash model, this will then give you the objects here. So let's have a look at what the object means. So when I click it, you can see that it gives me a list of all the different types of objects. If I change it and I go to, let's say, start looking at type name, you'll see it starts looking at all the types. So if I scroll down and I find this, let's say this 350 by 350, and I select it, you will see that it groups them all together, but because we now have the format specific and the types, it's really quick to go in, select all the columns that are clashing with the steel, so the concrete's clashing with the steel. And if I go, okay, that's not going to be an issue, I can simply go, not an issue. Say, okay, that's all okay. And I'll say this is a valid penetration. All okay. And I can see I can now do this a lot quicker. Before, without the grouping and the object specific items, I'd have to probably do each one individually. If we then go look at the IFC system, you will see we can go in and then it will go down and list all the IFC properties. But I would probably want to just go on objects, find that, that's now going to be not an issue. And again, minimum overlap, all okay. And we can do it there. So the major updates, it's going to increase speed. It's going to be really easy to do. And if you start coming out of this environment, let's look at the Revit side of things where we open up a Revit model, particularly if you've got some MEP stuff in here, because it can read the systems. It's going to be really quick to go in. So we're clashing this Revit model. We're going to do it by a system name. We can, let's say, domestic cold water, tick it on. Everything's going to be okay in that system. Not an issue. And we can just say that it's a field fix. To be fixed on site. Click OK. And we're good to go. We come back out, let's look at the type name. So I can look at the casework. I can have a look here, orbit this round. Actually, in this instance, I can say, actually, this is going to be a valid area of concern. So I'm going to make that where it's clashing with the rain screen and the cladding. I'm going to say that actually, in this case, is an issue. So I click it as per usual. We then highlight an area where we want to place the pin. Place the pin. We can now see that we've got a clash. I'm going to assign it to one of my colleagues. I'm going to say the due date is next Monday. And then I create the issue. Back out of that, if we want to clash some other area, let's say we look at in here. Are we doing it by object, IFC system, or type name? So if we go by object, let's look at the canopy roof. We've got an obviously quite glaring clash there, so that is going to be an issue. It's going to be there. Assign it to, again, Carl, and say he needs to sort that by next Monday. Create the issue. And then that is then starting to move all the clashes to our assign tab. The beauty of 360 is that it's all hyperlinked, so I can click it and you can now see that I've got all my new clashes, I've got all my closed clashes, and I've got all my active environments. If we go back to, let's say, Project Insight, we can now start to see all this information start to filter and report back through the model. You can see all our coordination issues here. We've got 16. We've got the issues by company, active versus closed. If we go in Project Home, it will then list all the issues. You can see all my issues are highlighting. Got a list of the project design issues, my issues, packages, coordinate issues. So you can see it's a huge step forward in model coordination. that if we can then upload our DWG files, our IFC files, it's got support for Magic CAD, create a coordination space, drop the files into it, and then you nominate that under your project admin as the coordination spaces. So just to show you that quickly, so under model coordination, we can create and specify which folder the system is looking at. And would you know it, it would give me an error as I try to show it. But here we go, there's my model coordination folder. That will then mean that in the document management arena, once we add the files into the coordination folder, they will then be listed and then can be used in the Clash environment. Literally 1 minute before I started, I did see an update on LinkedIn that Christina from Autodesk had posted that you're now able to see the size of your project files. I've tried my best to refresh my screen to show it. It just doesn't seem to be showing. So what I'm going to do quite quickly is I'm going to create a new project and see if the new project will then encompass the latest change. So I'm going to go project file size, give it a type, a value, start date, end date. It's really quite quick to go through and create a project and then save and continue. I'm not going to set the location. I'm going to activate a service, choose myself as the project admin, assign myself to a company, click save, and I'm just going to activate that service. So I'm hoping that if I create a new project, that will then allow me to configure. So there's my project. I'm going to go to make myself there. I'm going to add in myself again as another member. And this time I'm just going to give myself a member of document management. So that is the project created. There it is. And we go to document management. And I'm going to quickly upload a file and see if on the new project will the file size come through. So I'm going to project files, add a new folder. Click into here, upload a file, and already I see that if I upload this Word document, you will now see that this latest update, and it just basically went live on LinkedIn at 2 minutes to 12. You will now see that 360, thankfully, is now showing the file sizes. So it is progressing really rapidly. It's a struggle for me sometimes to keep up with it, but via these surgeries, I'm hoping that I'm getting the information and the words out there. So that's pretty much it for today. Some nice new updates to model coordination and a really new update for the file sizes now being available. So join me again next week. If you've got any ideas or topics that you would like me to cover in the surgeries, or you want to ask questions, just reach out to anyone at Excitech or reach out to myself on LinkedIn, or for those of you that have my email, it's jonathan.hand@excitech.co.uk, and I'd be more than happy to help and showcase any queries that you have. So again, thank you very much. Have a good Friday, and I'll see you all next week.